It is another utterly grim video from the self-styled Islamic State. A message this time, they say, for the government of Japan. Sky News is not showing any part of the video, but in it, journalist Kenji Goto is beheaded. Again, this man is responsible, with his now familiar British accent. In Tokyo, Mr. Goto's broken mother managed a few words.
I hope Kenji's death will contribute something to the world, however small it may be. I would be so grateful if you could make this happen. He always hoped to make the world a place without any wars and to save children from war and poverty. I promise here to carry out his legacy, hopefully with your support.
Her Prime Minister Shinzo Abe made this televised statement.
When I think of the grief of his family, I am left without words. The Japanese government has been doing its utmost to win his release, and we are filled with deep regrets. I feel indignation over this immoral and heinous act of terrorism. I will never forgive these terrorists. I shall let them pay for this sin and will coordinate with the international community for it.
Kenji Goto was 47, a son, brother, husband and father. He was a respected war correspondent, well known in Japan. A friend described him as gentle, soft-spoken. A reporter whose focus was to tell the stories of those who suffer in wars. He'd covered Afghanistan, Iraq, Chechnya, Kosovo and Syria, where he recorded this, his last message, before he was captured.
I will go to the Raqqa, where it's ISIS hometown. And if something incident happens, all responsibility is on me.
Condemnation of his murder has been broad. Overnight, David Cameron said it is a further reminder that ISIL is the embodiment of evil with no regard for human life. The Japanese government is right not to bow to terrorism. The way we will defeat ISIL is not by giving in to these terrorists, but by confronting them and their poisonous ideology. The man who appears to have killed Mr. Goto is the same individual behind the deaths of James Foley, Stephen Sotloff, David Haynes, Alan Henning and Peter Kasich, as well as Mr. Goto's friend Haruna Yukawa last weekend. The murder comes after a week of hard negotiations in Jordan. The IS militants had said Mr. Goto would be freed if would-be suicide bomber Sajida al-Rishawi was released from jail. Jordan said they would hand her over, but only on their terms, in return for captured pilot Lieutenant Muath al-Kasasba. He was never released, nor was she. So Kenji Goto was killed, and in the most horrendous way. Mark Stone, Sky News.